So we are going to discuss period, frequency, amplitude, and loudness. Period. What is period of sound? A period can be said to be the time taken to do something. If an event occurs repeatedly, then the event is said to be periodic. The time taken for the periodic event to repeat itself is known as the period. The time taken by the particle to complete one vibration cycle is the time period for that particle. So there are particles when you're speaking, the air particles, the sound produced replaces the particles of the air. So those sound particles are the ones that are causing the sound to be produced. Now, the time taken for the periodic event to repeat itself is known as the period. The time taken by the particle to complete one vibration cycle is the time period for that particle. As you can see here, period is inversely proportional to frequency. This is the period marked in purple color. The period taken for one cycle to complete itself, and it is measured at the peak, the crest, the trough. What is frequency of sound? Now, frequency, the number of oscillations per second, as the oscillation means moving back and forth. The number of oscillations per second is known as the frequency of oscillation. Its unit is hertz. It is measured in the terms of hertz. So the basic unit for measurement is hertz, considered to be the hertz, and is denoted by Hz. The frequency of a wave in general means how frequently the particles of a medium vibrate when a wave moves through the medium. So the frequency of a wave is in general means how frequently the particles of a medium vibrate when a wave moves through the medium. Frequency is inversely proportional to period. So the more the period, the lesser the frequency. The lesser the frequency, the more the period. The lesser the period, the more the frequency. And likewise, what is amplitude of sound? The amplitude of a sound wave is the measure of the height of the wave. The amplitude of a sound wave can be defined as the loudness or the amount of maximum displacement of vibrating particles of the medium from their mean position when the sound is produced. So the amplitude of a sound wave can be defined as the loudness or the amount of maximum displacement of the vibrating particles, the particles that are moving in the air. Displacement of vibrating particles of the medium from their mean position when the sound is produced. It is the distance between the crest or trough and the mean position of the wave. That is what amplitude is. So displacement from the mean position to the top, like the peak, the crest, the trough, whatever you want to call it. That is what loudness is. Loudness is directly proportional to the amplitude of the sound. It is the amplitude of the sound wave. If the amplitude of the sound wave is large, then the loudness of the sound will be more. And if the amplitude of the sound wave is small, the loudness of the sound wave will be less.